Hey there. Well, I got another Boker Plus Tech Tool, and this time I got the City 6, which is one in black G10 scales with the basic tool group, but also a saw. And by the way, this is the third one of these I've gotten, and they've all been perfect. This one came from a guy on eBay, Knife 78. It was shipped really fast, it came perfect, and he's got good prices, so kudos Knife Guy 78 on eBay. But I got another one of these because I had an idea. I want to try to replace this angled serrated blade with the screwdriver tip, this little emergency blade screwdriver, if you will, and the accompanying retractable lanyard hole with another tool. And I've seen on a forum where someone tried this with a Victorinox can opener with some limited success. But I thought, to me, a Phillips driver would be much more useful. And this, is, as you see, has the corkscrew on the back. Most of these have a corkscrew on the back. There's only one model available here in the U.S., the 5, City or Outdoor 5, that has the Phillips driver here. So I thought an inline Phillips would be great. And so I wanted to find a Victorinox with an inline Phillips to take apart and try to swap this out. So with Victorinox, you're always going to find on the 91mm models anyway, you're always going to find the Phillips driver across from one of two tools, I believe. Either a magnifying glass, like this one has, or an LED light. And so the simplest models currently made with the magnifying glass is the Explorer, which I have here in my hand. And also I think the simplest with the LED light is the Spartan light. So I was able to find this Explorer on eBay at a good price. Didn't have to pay much for it because it has a damaged scale, as you can see, but that's fine with me because I'll be popping those off and tearing this knife down to get to the inline Phillips. And I'm just going to have to take the two knives apart to see if the thickness of the tools and the way they're made and the spring, how they engage with the springs and everything is going to allow this to work. But I thought I would give it a try, and I thought I'd document it a little bit along the way. You'll notice that I got a newer Explorer with the clear plastic magnifying glass. I think Victorinox went from the gray outer plastic and the glass magnifying glass to this plastic one in 2004, I believe. And the reason I wanted to get this one is in 2004 they made these longer, maybe larger, I don't know, but definitely longer. So in order to fit it in there, they had to make the Phillips shorter. So you've actually got two variations of this Phillips inline driver on the 91mm. Before the bigger magnifying glass, this was a little longer, and now it's a little shorter. And I wanted the shorter one because I wanted to make sure, you know, that I didn't overreach in the space that I have in the carriage of this knife. And I don't think I will. You'll notice that the emergency blade sits up behind the screwdriver cap lifter quite a bit right there. And obviously the inline Phillips wouldn't be able to do that because it's thicker. So that's why I wanted a tool that was you know, substantially shorter. So we'll just see if this works. First thing I'll do is I'll take apart this brand new, right out of the box, Boker Plus Tech Tool City 6. And I hope I can get it all back together. And then I'm going to tear this one down by drilling out a pin, at least one pin, and tapping it through at least part of the way, enough to get this tool out. I got to be careful because if this doesn't work, I want to try to put everything back the way it was. And I can always find a new set of scales. I've got tons of scales that I can put on top of this. All right, well, let's get to it. Okay, well this has quickly descended into hobby hell. You could see there that the Victorinox holes on their tools for their little brass pin is substantially smaller than the hole that, let's see, where's my other tool? Oh, it's in here. But anyway, it's substantially smaller than the hole that you have to have in the Boker tools to fit over this. Their pin is more like just a threaded pipe. And so it's something between like 7/64 and an eighth. So I'm trying to drill it out to an eighth. And you saw me start there with a black oxide bit, which after about an hour of trying to drill through that and make that hole just a little bigger, I broke a bit and I completely wore bit out. This bit actually got conformed to the size of the hole into steel instead of the other way around. So I know that Victorinox hardens their parts differently. They must harden these screwdrivers quite a bit. So I took about an hour of just trying to drill that hole bigger, and then I took about an hour grinding the end of this part. I wish I had taken a picture of it before I started, but the Victorinox springs are shaped very differently than the Boker springs, and therefore the ends of the tools are shaped very differently. And this had like two nodes on it in the back here and another one here. I had to take material away from, I don't know if this will focus, but all the sides including the back. So I completely had to like reshape the back end of this tool. I'm using a aluminum oxide grinder on my Dremel. That actually works pretty well. And I had to run out to the store and drop $9 on a tungsten carbide cutter for Dremel. So we're going to see if I can't get that hole cut out with this new $9 bit. I hope I don't ruin it. So let's clamp this down so it doesn't spin away from me. And I'm sorry about just seeing the back of my hand. I know that's got to be frustrating. There's no place to put my camera tripod other than to the right of my work desk here, and I'm right-handed, so for metal you should have about a medium speed, not to heat it up too much. Wood high speed, plastic really low speed. So let's put that on about a 6 and see what happens. Oh jeez. Well, it's definitely cutting the steel. Let's try it from the other side. Okay, so the tungsten carbide cutting bit did the trick. It zipped right through this. I had to approach it from both sides, but it actually fits off camera because it's so hard to futz around and get this thing under this spring when it's all under tension. But I got it in there, and I had eyeballed the grind on the back of this just right because it has really good action. It seems to snap shut, open. I thought I might have overground this stop here, come in too far, but I think it's going to be just fine. So before I put it all back together, one other thing I wanted to do, I've taken off the cap lifter screwdriver, and I'm going to bevel the edge. I'm going to make a cutting edge or a wire scraper edge reminiscent of the old soldiers on this because I just think it's such a good idea. And I got this conical shaped aluminum oxide Dremel bit to do that. Okay, well it's all back together and it actually came out alright, so I'm happy with it. As you can see, the Phillips driver lays in there pretty well. And it's just the right length. Made the right call getting the shorter of the two, I think. So everything went back together just fine. Let me just show you the action on the knife. There's the main blade. Here's the saw. Here is the screwdriver cap lifter, which I did sharpen. Put an edge on the inside of it there, so it's kind of a wire stripper, ferro rod striker. And that's got good snap to it. And then the whole reason for doing all this, the inline Phillips, I got pretty good spring action on there. I just kind of eyeballed the grind on the back of that tool. I might have overground the stop a little bit because you got a little bit of this until it gets up against the spring, but that's okay. It opens and closes just fine, and it works really well too. Being in the inline position, it just feels so much more natural. So yeah, works really well. So now I have a really useful tool in addition to a lot of other useful tools, as opposed to funky, strangely angled, kind of dangerous little emergency blade with a screwdriver tip and a lanyard hole, which I'm never going to use because I have a pocket clip, which I reversed, by the way. I like to reverse the pocket clip on these for a couple of reasons. You know, when I pull it out of my pocket, I like tip up, because then you can just open it like that, close it like that. Just really natural in your hand after you pull it out of your pocket. Also, when you're working with the blade, you know, most of your pressure is going to be between your thumb and your forefinger up here. And it's kind of nice not to have that pocket clip right there. So that's one nice thing about the Bokers, you can reverse the pocket clip. Okay, well, that's my new Boker Plus Tech Tool 6 with an inline Phillips, and I appreciate you watching.